What's up, everybody, and welcome to Debunking 8 Funding Myths. In this video, I am going to go over some of the most common misconceptions, deceit, and lies surrounding the funding industry. So let's get into it. Before I start with number one, though, I want to remind everybody, if this is your first video or if you don't know, my name is Ashley Gunther. I am the owner and creator of The Lone Wolf, a premier startup and funding marketplace for businesses. So we're super excited. We have helped over 20,000 clients since 2018. And now I do these videos to help give each of you some perspective and insight on what's real and what's fake in various aspects of the industry. So in this video, we're going to go over different myths around funding. So number one myth is that CPNs can get you loans. Now, if you were in if you have checked out the personal credit debunking video, we touched upon CPNs a bit, but I'm going to continue here because this is very important. If you have bad personal credit and you are working with an expert that you are paying to get you a CPN, to create the CPN, to create the profile, etc., and they are telling you that once your CPN has been merged with you and it's created and all of this stuff, you can go and get loans. This is a misconception. This is not true. And there are actual consequences to submitting applications with CPNs. So first and foremost, if you don't know what a CPN is, please go to Google or check out our blog resource section on our website. We have some really great blogs and some information all about these type of topics. So once you have your CPN and you decide to apply for funding and you put your CPN in replace of your social security number, you did technically just commit fraud on a document. If you are asked for your social security number on a document and you put any other number but your social security number, you did just commit fraud on a document. So if it's a bank document or if it's an alternative lender document, you have just created fraud. And you knowingly committed fraud because you knew it was a CPN number. So now what happens once you have submitted that application with the CPN number over your social security number, the lender is going to do a background check and they're going to do a soft pull on your credit. Well, the issue is when they do this, they're going to see that it's a CPN and they do not accept CPN profiles for loans. So what's going to happen is you are either going to get an auto decline or a message saying that they can't verify your information and that you're declined. Now, if they are transparent, they're going to let you know, we understand that this is a CPN application, you have been declined, and they may tell you that you are not allowed to submit applications in the future. If you're working with a broker and that broker is submitting CPNs, that broker will very soon have their contract completely destroyed, voided out, and they won't be able to work with that lender anymore. So no, CPNs will not get you loans. I don't care how many credit experts say that they're legal and effective. If you work with a lender and you submit an application with a CPN, you will be declined and you can be blacklisted. Next, this is an outdated hack. I talk about it often, but I'm still seeing nowadays business credit experts or coaching experts promoting that you can purchase age corporations and it will get you large loans. This is a hack that worked about 8 years ago. And since it just simply no longer works. So let's break this down a little bit. An age corporation is a older corporation that's been around for a while. It has X amount of years in it, and it's available for you to purchase. The concept of purchasing the age corporation is you purchase this corporation with all this history, and then you walk into a bank or you go online and you submit the information as the owner to this corporation, and that the corporation's history and whatever is attached to the file will get you approved for funding. This no longer works. Why? There's a few reasons. First, anytime a change, and this is the biggest thing, and I talk about this all the time, and I do not see anyone else talking about this. When ownership changes, So Age Corporation, let's say Donald over here owns this Age Corporation and I buy this from Donald. Let's say it's 15 years. It's a 15-year-old corporation. It's been around for 15 years. I purchased this from him. Now I have to re-register and I have to put everything in my name. The moment that the business transfers ownership to me, the age of that business starts over. We're now on day one. So the concept of purchasing an age corporation and getting all those years to you as the new owner does not work anymore. That's not how it happens. Additionally, now with age corporations, they don't have current banking statements, they don't have bank statements, and they don't have current tax returns. In order for you to qualify for funding, especially large loans, you need to have current financials. You need to have filed and be current on your tax return. So this in and of itself will not work. I'm seeing fake gurus charging $2,500 or more for this hack. This hack does not work. It will not work. It no longer works. Did it work at one time? Absolutely. But the banking industry and life has changed. It's been nearly a decade. So do not fall for this. It is fake. It will not get you larger loans. It'll be a waste of your time and money. And now you have an age corporation that could possibly have old bad debt that now you're responsible for. Let me throw you a curveball right there. These age corporations that you're buying, if they have old debt, now you're going to be put in a position where you could be liable for this. So keep in mind, the risk is not worth it because there are literally zero rewards with this hack. Next, number 3, business credit replaces bad personal credit. I see this everywhere. I should have put this as number 1 really because it's always important to touch upon this. And you see nearly in every single one of my videos, I'm talking about this, right? Business credit does not and will not ever replace bad personal credit. I don't care how many times somebody says it. I don't care how loud they say it. I don't care how many pretend receipts they show. I have processed I've processed nearly 30,000 applications, like files, right? And 20,000 plus we've gotten funded. 20,000 plus we've gotten funded. I've worked with an accumulation of 100 to 150 lenders the past 6 years. So if I'm working with lenders, whether they're locally or online, offering several different funding programs, okay? We're talking about 30,000 files. I'm telling you, business credit will not replace bad personal credit. Your bad personal credit will come to bite you in the butt. And having bad personal credit will put you in a situation where you can only qualify for merchant cash advances. So regardless of what all these other gurus, I call them fake gurus, these gurus are saying, and they can show you receipts, these receipts are fake. But your bad business credit, having business credit will not replace bad personal credit. You must make sure your personal credit is as strong as it possibly can be so you can secure any type of funding, even business credit funding. Next, and this is really huge, and I'm going to spend a minute talking about this. So there are plenty of fake gurus going around teaching a method where you're going to season your accounts by either liquidating credit cards or recycling money. And by doing this, it's going to help you get approved for larger loans. There's a few issues here. Number 1, this is illegal banking. By seasoning your account, whether you're liquidating your credit cards or you're simply rinsing and reusing money, or if there are a few other hacks too, this is illegal banking. This is the act of money laundering. I've had a few people try to tell me I'm wrong in this. You can tell me you're wrong all you want. You can think it too. It doesn't mean that you're right. The act of money laundering is fraud. It is illegal banking. You are putting yourself at risk to get your bank account shut down, to get yourself put in the check system and blacklisted from other bank accounts. If you're liquidating your credit cards, now you are committing fraud with your credit card company. And again, the risks do not make sense for the reward. So let me break this down. So what gurus are teaching you is you're going to season your account. And by seasoning your account, what you're doing is you're taking a lump sum of money and you're putting it in and pulling it out and putting it in and pulling it out. That's a little bit funny. So I want you to imagine that you get approved for a $5,000 credit card. Okay. What you're going to do to liquidate this is you're going to send yourself an invoice and you're going to pay it with your credit card. Yes, you're going to pay fees. You're going to lose out on some of that money. So let's say you get 4,500 of it deposited into your bank account. What business credit gurus are teaching you is then you're going to take that 4,500 and you're going to pay off your credit card with that. Once you've paid off your credit card and the balance shows on the credit card is available, then you're going to send yourself another invoice. And then you're going to keep doing this. And you're going to do it multiple times a month. So you're going to take that 4,500 and it will get a little less every time, but you're going to take that 4,500, say you rinse it 5 times. So now you've made $20,000 in your account. Get what I'm saying? So you've taken the same money, rinsed, recycled, and reused it to make it seem like you now make 20K a month. So let's say you do that for 3 months. Well, here's the issue is if you don't get caught before the 3 months is out, you're going to wish you had. Because here's the deal, and this is a real story that I share with people. There was a female that believed a guru and paid $10,000 to learn all these different hacks. So she paid $10,000 for these hacks. She gets these hacks. And then she's told that she can liquidate her credit cards. So in a 3-month period, this woman liquidated $87,000 in her credit card. She just kept rinsing and reusing her credit card. The issue is you have the credit card with the address. You have your payment processor with the address. You have your IP address and connected to the address. So what she was doing was she was sending herself an invoice, IP address, invoice with the payment processor, and then paying with her own credit card, which everything matched. So that's already stuck. So then when she takes the money from her account and she's paying off the credit card, okay, there's that. So what happened was after she did this for $87,000, trigger went off, auditing trigger went off. The bank account looked in and said, okay, first we're stopping all credit card payments. So the first thing they did was they stopped her credit card payments. So all that money that she was recycling, that cash that she was putting in to pay off the credit card bills, they stopped payment. So I want you to imagine that she owes $87,000 in credit card bills, okay? And she has $87K in the bank. She's going to have less because of how the recycling, okay? In fact, I think she had about $60K if I remember. It was like $57K in the bank account, okay? And she rinsed everything to $87,000. So what we're seeing is the bank stopped payment on the credit card payment. So now she has an $87,000 credit card balance, right? And the payments were stopped. Then her bank told her that she also needed to refund every single invoice that was attached to this. And they further told her she had to refund a few other invoices that were connected to family members because it looked like it was the same thing. It looked like she had liquidated. So what happened is her bank account was then $57,000 overdrafted because they went into her account because they stopped payment. She has $87,000 in credit card debt. She's completely FUCK'd. Her payment processor, she had 3 payment processors get shut down. So she can't take payments anymore. She owes her bank tens of thousands of dollars, and she owes the credit cards tens of thousands of dollars. Now she's in default, and now all of them are coming after her personally and suing her. This is well over $100,000 mistake. She is in deep, serious trouble. She is considered bankruptcy. She may lose her home. So these are serious things. These fake gurus are teaching you guys highly illegal hacks that can put you in a situation where you are losing your home, where you lose your business. This can result into mental and emotional struggle. Guys and gals and everyone in between, this is much deeper than finances. Debunking this myth number 4 could save lives. I want each of you to take this very seriously. Now, do some of you get away with it? Absolutely. But it's an auditing nightmare, and at some point you're going to get caught. And the longer you get away with it, the worse the consequences will be when you are caught. Let's go to debunking number 5. You can get loans with your EIN only. I love this one because you see it everywhere. EIN only loans. And I do the same thing every time. Show me where it's an EIN only. Now, if you don't know what your EIN number is. Again, I would suggest that you Google it. Each of us should have one if we own a business. Even sole proprietors have an EIN, okay? It's an identification number. A lot of people compare it to a personal social security number. They say that your EIN is like your business social security number. Here's the deal. The EIN number is just an EIN number. It's a number that's tied to the registration of your business. So even though it's similar to a social security number, it does not act as a social security number. That EIN number doesn't hold weight in getting approvals. I don't care what anybody says. And so when people talk about EIN only loans, they do not exist. An EIN only loan means you would go with a number to a bank and say, give me money. That means they wouldn't look at bank statements. They won't look at tax returns. They won't look at your personal credit. They won't do a background check. Nobody does that. Banks don't do it. Credit unions don't do it. Alternative lenders don't do it. The SBA doesn't do it. You cannot get an EIN only loan. Now, for the people that want to argue this, you going out and getting a net 30 line isn't an EIN only loan. First of all, it's not a loan. You just got a vendor line. And secondly, other documents and information were used to underwrite. People that say you can get a loan with EIN only, they're complete liars. They have been taught wrong. They misunderstand. Ask for proof. I have asked for proof for 5 years and not one person has shown me a loan they have gotten with only their EIN. It's similar to this no doc loan thing. It's very similar to that. It's deceitful marketing. There is not one expert and not one bank. There's no banking institution that will give out funding to just an EIN number. It doesn't even make common sense. It's almost like if someone gave you funding for your birthday. Honestly, I think we need to switch from saying that EIN number is like your social security number and really say your EIN number is like your birthday. Let's go with that one, y'all. Let's make that popular in 2023 and moving on. Next, number 6, you can get a loan with only 3 months of bank statements. If you are seeing online that people are promoting funding with only 3 months time in business or 3 months bank statements, that is not a loan, but a merchant cash advance, an MCA. And we have to legally make sure that you understand that it's not a loan, because in the word, it actually says advance. So when you're seeing whether it's brokers or other people in the funding industry offering loans and saying you only need 3 months time in business, they are marketing that illegally and wrong. Now, they may not know it because they might not have been taught, or they know it and they don't care. Some people also know it and don't think that it's that big of a deal when in fact it is. Again, it's in the contract. Merchant cash advances are not loans. They cannot be called loans, seen as loans, promoted as loans, whispered as loans. It just cannot be. Okay, so if you are working with someone that is calling a merchant cash advance a loan, I would stop working with them because they either don't know what they're doing or they're going to do you dirty, and both are very, very dangerous. If you want to get a true business loans, not advances. Most business loans require that you be in business at least a year or two and have 1 or 2 years of business tax returns. Business loans are also what gets you monthly payment options. Advances are daily or weekly. Number 7, you can get a business loan using a personal bank account. I love this one. Stop falling for the BS. Now, all you sole props are going to be like, well, I use a personal account and I run my business. Well, yeah, as a sole prop, you are limiting your ability for a lot of things because you have a sole proprietorship, you have an EIN tied to that, but you don't have a business bank account. And if you don't have a business bank account, you cannot get a business loan. Business loans do not fund to personal bank accounts. Personal loans do not fund to business bank accounts. That is a commingling issue. That is against banking regulations. It's simply not going to happen. Simply, it should not happen. If you can do it, you should not, because now you are commingling funds. And that whole piercing the corporate veil and trying to make everything separate doesn't work if you are doing the same thing in both your business and your personal account. The truth is, if you are running a business utilizing your personal account, you're doing it wrong. you're putting yourself at risk for many issues. And overall, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're not going to truly understand the profits and the cost to run your business. If you're running a business, get a business bank account. Now, I know many of you are concerned over a $15 a month maintenance fee. I don't understand it. I get it when it comes to not having funds. I have been homeless 4 times in my adult life, 4 or 5 times actually. I have had absolutely no money in my bank account. I have had negative money in my bank account. So I do understand that when you're first starting off, you want to be cost effective. But the same one of y'all's that are complaining about a $15 a month maintenance fee are also the ones that will drop $2,500 to buy an age corporation because you're chasing a pipe dream. We have to make sense of it. If you want to run a successful business, you need to act like a successful business owner, and you need to follow the rules and regulations that businesses have. If you think because you're your own boss, you don't have any rules anymore, you do not know about certain websites and about certain things. There was Grant Bay, a professional, pretend grant expert. She was called Grant Bay or something like that. She literally was taken to court. I believe she might be serving jail time because of it. Look it up. We all have to follow certain rules and regulations when it comes to collecting money from people, when it comes to charging money, when it comes to what we say to get the money, all the things. We all have rules and regulations. Make sure your business goes in your business account, your personal stays in your personal, and you do not commingle. Next and last but not least, and this is very similar to the season your account. It's very similar, but I've noticing this a lot. And also I do understand when it comes to community and culture that many cultures, the melanin community, the Asian community, and the Hispanic community primarily utilize this as a means to help grow their business. So I understand from a fundamental standpoint that this was something that was taught and preached and utilized and has been for years. Unfortunately, when everyone first started this, we didn't have the same banking rules and regulations. Money laundering wasn't an issue. People being scammers, it wasn't as heavy, right? We've always had to deal with scammers, but it wasn't as prevalent. We're now in the 2020s, right? We're 2023. And so now banking has totally changed, and money laundering is a thing, and it's an issue, and it's a very serious charge. So the concept of this myth is that you get 3 to 5 friends together. Okay. Let's say you each get a credit card. Again, we'll do the 5K one. Okay. Let's say you have 5 friends, you each have 5K. And so each month you send 5K. Each one sends 5K to a friend, and you do that. So you're seasoning the account. And so you're taking that and you're washing it. So now all of a sudden, all 5 friends are showing 20K a month in revenue. The issue is this is fraud. This is money laundering. You are recycling money. If you're doing it with a credit card, you're also doing credit card fraud. But the issue again is you show fake revenue. If you were to get a loan doing that, first of all, you got a loan on false pretenses by creating fraud. So you obtained a loan via fraud. So whether you can get away with it now, they'll eventually find out, and then you'll get FUCK'd for it because they will make you have to repay the whole thing or sue you, right? But the thing is if this worked and you were to get a loan, you're not actually making any real money in your business. So how can you actually afford the loan? You're just going to have to keep recycling. At some point, y'all need to realize we're business owners. We should be doing actions that help grow our business, actions that help get us clients, actions that help make consistent sales, actions that help improve profitability, actions that help get our name out there. All these methods that each of you become obsessed with trying to chase high approvals, why don't you focus on making money in sales? Why don't you focus on selling your product or your service and forget about the glitz and glamours of fake business credit? Business credit won't matter if you don't have a business making money. Business credit was not created for startups. There's so many misunderstandings and deceit around funding in the financial industry. So now that I've debunked 8 of these popular myths, y'all hopefully realize that there are serious consequences. We're talking about jail time, fines, overdrafted accounts, owing companies, stop payments, being sued, having your accounts completely wiped out because a banking institution is trying to collect their debt. These things can happen when you do the gray area or deceitful hacks. And the thing is, you may not know it, but now you do. Now you're equipped with that information. Are you following gurus that are promoting these things? Let me know. Comment below, like, subscribe. Hit up my email. Write me an email about your situation. If you've been a victim of one of these myths, tell me about it. We want to know. And if there's help that we can provide, again, we are one of the premier marketplaces offering startup and business funding. We do it with transparency and honesty by leading with education. What is it that you need to succeed? If you're super hyper focused on all these things to get funding instead of focusing on growing your business, funding may not be the thing you need to succeed. So keep that in mind. Thank you so much for watching my video. Check out my others and have a great day.